Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. What an awesome week talking about mindset. And for me, this has been a game changer in so many ways. I have always loved anything sports. I've been a tomboy all my life, but really changing my mindset and working out through personal development has been the biggest change and transformation for me. So let me tell you a little bit what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about rewriting your story. Now, there's a part that, the things that we have gone through in our past have made us stronger, have made us who we are. I wouldn't want to take away anything because it's made me who I am. But through a lot of these experiences, we, in our minds, create a story about ourselves that simply is not true. And it's breaking through these stories and realizing that you can rewrite your story and the future has not happened yet. And a lot of times we start creating a future based on some of these limiting beliefs that has not even happened. So let me tell you a little bit of just a really small story about myself. When I was growing up, I was a very happy kid. I had a lot of friends. I was also overweight and chubby. And although nobody ever bullied me or ever called me fat, I knew I was bigger. I knew I wasn't the cheerleader, Miss Popular girl. I wasn't asked to dances or had boyfriends or anything like that, but I was friends with everybody. And in 8th grade, I became a friend with a boy that I started having a crush on. And long story short, I decided to put myself out there and ask him out. And so I wrote a letter, of course, you're not going to ask him out in person. So I wrote him a letter and I asked him out and I gave it to a friend to give to him who the next day, his friend delivered the letter back to me and wrote on it, "You are too fat to be Justin's girlfriend." And you guys, I'm telling you right now, I was absolutely crushed. I was embarrassed. I was mortified. And that feeling of rejection was something I was never going to let happen to me ever again. I told no one about it, but I internalized this belief that, first of all, that I was fat, that second of all, guys only like skinny girls. And third, I'm never going to put myself out there again to risk feeling that rejection. And so that's pretty much how I lived my life. I became a tomboy. And to this day, I have never asked a guy out ever. Well, luckily I'm married and now I don't have to worry about it. But if it was not safe and I knew for sure that I could not do something or that I wasn't going to be the best at something, I just simply don't do it. And that's just kind of who I became. And that fear of rejection really put a lot of limitations on myself. And I created futures that weren't even happening because of that fear of rejection. I didn't put myself out there for many things because that feeling of rejection was so bad that I never wanted to experience it again. So long story short, through personal development and realizing that this is a limiting belief on myself, I now embrace it. I know it's still uncomfortable. I get little butterflies. I get scared, but I know through that first of all, fear of failure is actually limiting me in my own personal growth. Failure can be a good thing. You learn from it. As long as you fail forward and pick yourself back up, failure can be a good thing. Rejection, a lot of time rejection is not about me. And I always make it about me, and it's not always about me. And, it's like I've realized this future of who I can become and who I am is so much greater than what I ever thought. And so I encourage you today to start thinking about some of those limiting beliefs that you have on yourself. That maybe you say, oh, I was created this way, or I was born this way, or, I'm not good at math, or I'm not good at art. I'm just not creative. Well, yeah, you are. You've created that story about yourself. And so I encourage you to just stop and think today, what are some of those limiting beliefs that you've had on yourself? What are some of those futures that you've already created that haven't even happened yet? And start pushing through those and breaking those barriers of that unbelief. And really that's it. So again, this could be a really big topic, but I want to keep this video brief. And I want you to encourage you today. If you know that you have some of those limiting beliefs, dive into some personal development. You Are a Badass is an amazing book. There's a lot of books out there. Start reading, start working on yourself, and start just saying, no, I'm not that person anymore. I can be whoever I want to be and start living that way. It's a process. It won't happen overnight, but I promise you, it is so rewarding. You guys have an awesome Friday, and we'll talk to you soon.